Welcome back, everybody, to episode 19 of Jocks and All Things Sports podcast, presented by Always Bullin. Divisional round of playoffs is over. We're getting into championship weekend. All of our teams are officially no longer playing anymore. We'll jump into it later. Train, who do you have to win the Super Bowl starting now?
Who do I want or who do I think?
Give me both.
I want the Bungles to win. I think healthy Mahomes wins. I think the AFC is winning this year.
Gnar, who you got, who you want?
Bungles.
Love it. Love it. I'd like to see the Eagles win just so Ham can win his $1,000.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
I'd love to see the Bungles win too, though. I saw something earlier today that said something about how Patrick Mahomes is this great guy, good with the media, good to his teammates, and he's the villain of the NFL. And Joe Burrow, who is probably one of the more cockier quarterbacks in the NFL, is beloved by everybody. And so it's fun. It's interesting. I think a lot of the people want the Bengals to win if they don't have a horse in this race. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, Joe Burrow's dope.
Yeah, people love him. Why not? Bad news to start the week. Started out 16-0, ended the season 16-0. We dropped our teaser in the playoffs this week. I rode Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes let me down. But the Giants' defense also let me down a little bit. I don't think Danny Dimes truly had a chance. We'll jump more into the game later. We'll first jump into the early game, the Jags game. Gnar's pick for the teaser. And they covered. They covered the regular line too. It was a frustrating game, though, because it's a game we could have won, and simple mistakes stopped us from winning. But outside of that, it's a loss to the Chiefs. We were the only team who didn't get embarrassed in divisional round. You can make arguments for the 49ers game, and, I mean, people are already calling the Bills championship hopes for the future done at this point. And I don't know where that's coming from, but people are already counting the Bills out for next year, saying they missed their window, which I think is crazy talk, but we'll get to that. But the Jags stayed in it. Again, a game they could have won if they fixed some simple mistakes. There was a Kirk drop that happens 1 out of 100 times maybe on that play. Our $15 million middle linebacker dropped an interception. And Jamal Agnew fumbled really close to the end zone. 3 tough plays by 3 guys who have had great seasons so far and just had one mistake at the worst possible time. Not that they haven't had ones in the past, but made one that cost us. And outside of those 3 occurrences, I don't think any of those 3 had a mistake the rest of the game. But it's encouraging for the future. We'll go from here, but it's hashtag team draft season now. So I've been doing mocks. It's keeping me entertained, but I guess it's Bengals football this weekend. And we can talk a bit about the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes has a rough ankle injury early in the game. Chad Henne leads a drive, mostly led by P. Ryan, I believe. Is that no, Pacheco.
He runs on the
Yeah,
Bungles.
Pacheco. He did most of the heavy lifting on that drive. It wasn't really a Chad Henne drive. But regardless, Mahomes went back in the game, was limping the whole time. Do you think this will be an issue going into next week?
I think it absolutely is. Bengals have a decent D line that have the ability to get after the quarterback, and 80% of what makes Patrick Mahomes so great is scrambling around like a chicken with his head cut off in the pocket, buying his receivers more time downfield, and then they're able to finally get open. So I still think Patrick Mahomes isn't going to make crazy mistakes, but he's not going to have those highlight reel holy shit, this is Patrick Mahomes plays.
Trent, if you're a Chiefs fan, are you worried about the
You
injury?
got to be a little bit worried. It's your guy. He's the number one quarterback in the league for a reason. And when you don't have him, obviously you're going to be a little scared. For the line moved already. Bengals were +1. Now they're like -2.5. So maybe Vegas knows that Mahomes. Maybe it's worse than we think. I still think he's going to be out there playing the game. So if he's out there, he's not going to play a bad game. I think it's going to affect him, but I think he can still throw it anywhere he wants to.
Does it mean they're going to lean heavier on a Chiefs rush game, or is it sell out to cover the pass and hope your D-line can stop the run on itself? And just, I mean, it's still going to be Mahomes being Mahomes, but how big of a deal is losing his threat to scramble if that's the case?
Well,
I think you lean on your D line to get the run game. I don't think you change your defensive scheme from a pass protection standpoint.
That's fair. I mean, I think it'll be interesting. I don't know where the Chiefs necessarily outmatch the Bengals besides quarterback, and that might be a smaller edge than people are thinking. I do think Mahomes will end up being the GOAT the way he can throw a ball. But, I mean, Bengals have better receivers, probably a better running back. You give the O-line to the Chiefs. But I think it could be a close game. Giving the Bengals points is scary. But like you said, Trent, they might have an inside edge on the injury. At what point, if Mahomes stays questionable, do you have to take the points? +2.5 to get points on the Chiefs.
I mean, I think I'm going to take the Bungles again. Kind of got to keep riding them, right, Gnar?
I just think if you can get the Chiefs plus money, that's crazy.
No, it is.
Agreed.
But
If Mahomes is in the game too.
I was just talking up Mahomes being able to throw it wherever without with his injury, but I still want the Bungles to win. And he's going to play. I'm almost 100% certain he's going to play. It's just about
So how can you not take some points? Patrick Mahomes and
I don't know
points?
how bad it is.
Still beat the
if
Jags.
he's out there. Speaking of that, the Jags were so close in this game, and it really wasn't talked about very much. That drop by Kirk, huge, absolutely massive. And then another play, I think it was 3rd and 20. Jermichael Hasty drops a 10-yard catch. Wouldn't have gave him a first down, but it would have put them in field goal range. There's your 10 points.
Well,
there's 10 points.
But the fumble was the killer.
Right. I missed the fumble, so I didn't even see what
See, I missed a lot of the beginning because of the basketball tournament I was coaching, which also didn't go well. But I don't know. It was a treat. It was a treat to be in the divisional round. I think Dougie P was the first coach to win a playoff game after having the number 1 overall pick. I don't know how true that is, but I'm pretty sure it's true. I mean, there was a lot of exciting things to see, and it was the Chiefs. It's not like we choked against. I mean, it was the Chiefs. I know Mahomes was tough.
It just hurts more because I think with the way it happened, you could have won this game.
And I told you guys we couldn't cover tight ends. Travis Kelce had 13 receptions, but probably his least productive 13 reception game of the season. Held him to under 100 yards on 13 catches.
And then he had two tubs.
I don't know how many tubs he had.
You definitely had 2.
But I mean,
but it wasn't productive.
It wasn't productive.
Under 100.
We made Mahomes dump underneath and didn't beat us long. And the offense failed to get touchdowns, which is the story. But it's an offense that's going to improve next year. You got a lot of young guys on the line. You got a young quarterback. You got Calvin Ridley coming in. Plus, you got a draft coming up. I understand it's a game we could have won. It's tough to say should have won because who knows if we get that Jamal Agnew touchdown, There's no knowing what Andy Reid does on offense the next drive. If one thing happens, another thing can also not happen. So could have won, yes. Should have won, probably not. We were 8.5-point underdogs. And was there some frustrating mistakes to happen? Yes. But Hasty, our backup running back, RB3 coming into the season, that's tough, but tough spot for that kid. And then Jamal Agnew's been solid all year. Probably don't win the Chargers game without him and some kick returns. So yeah, the fumble's tough, but it's hard to be upset. It's hard to be upset. They played good. We didn't get blown out. It wasn't 38-7, so that's really fun. Sorry, Giants fans. I teased you, so it's okay. But I mean, the Eagles are a Chiefs-like team this season, the way they've been dominating with Jalen Hurts in the game. And they massacred the Giants, who are kind of that Jags-level team that snuck into the playoffs, whether you want a weak division or a weak wild card. Their record wasn't great, and they got demolished. The fact that we were in this game was encouraging enough. Shad Khan's ready to pay cash and give guys signing bonuses to get us back in a good cap place. But I saw a lot of moves pay off, and I'm happy with the way things worked out. Obviously, you'd like to have the win, and obviously there's small mistakes you can fix. But I'm grateful for what I had. But thank you, Train. It's nice of you to.
I mean, just imagine, like, you might go to Cincinnati with Reen if the Jags
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But
probably would have.
If you get to the Bungles, I don't know, dude.
It would have been fun.
Yeah, but
if you get there, though, if you get there, you need one lucky bounce.
Yeah, but lose a close one to the Chiefs with a couple of mistakes and get ready next year, or get blown out and embarrassed by the Bungles.
Made it to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, I think he's got nightmares about that game though, Trent. So don't bring that up now.
Yeah, I don't want to go to another AFC Championship game until we're ready. Until we're ready, and it was an encouraging season. I think it's hard to be mad. I can't be mad at Kirk. I can't be mad at Agnew because they did so much throughout the season. If they made those mistakes all season, we wouldn't have even been here. So, I don't know. They had great. How can I be mad at Christian Kirk for having a career high receiving year? Like, it's tough, but you move on. We'll get him next year.
Bach, you're going to be the favorite. You're going to be the favorite to win that division.
Here's a good what if for you. I mean, the Texans roster is pretty bad, but if they draft like the number one quarterback off the board, do you think anyone would like quickly be like, oh yeah, these guys can win the South? It's weak. Or do you think the Jags have cemented tough team out of the AFC South now?
I bet on the Texans this year.
Okay.
I remember we had that conversation.
So,
and I kind of bought into it. I was like, yeah, I mean, Titans kind of suck.
Same with the Colts, too. Good. The Colts are a team who, if they get the right quarterback in the draft, people might be like, oh, maybe.
I just think the opposite of that. I think they're the bottom team now.
And the other problem is the Jags have the schedule of a conference champion now, or a division champion now. I mean, we got to play the 49ers. I think the Chiefs again. We got to play all the division champions next season. 12 wins is looking bleak, but improvement is on the horizon. I think 12-5 is still realistic.
I hope so. There's a jersey on the line.
Next year is going to be the year I judge Trevor Lawrence really hard. There's not going to after another full offseason with Dougie P, it's going to be a lot less. He's got potential. It's going to be more. We need to see big growth next year. And I think we might. Let's talk Eagles-Giants. I had Danny Dimes and the Giants to at least cover. They didn't. I mean, Eagles got Jalen Hurts back and looked like they did all season with Jalen Hurts. Unstoppable for the most part. I don't know how great the Giants are, but the Eagles were tough to stop. Do they have a chance? Who's your favorite next week? Is it obviously the Eagles after a game like that, or the Giants just bad enough that it still could be a good game?
Giants are frauds. I got the 49ers this upcoming week. I'll just say it. They haven't lost in a long time, and they're going to Philly, but everyone keeps talking about Brock Purdy is going to lose. Is the pressure's going to be too much? But the guy's won 10 games in a row. I don't know if that's true, but it's a lot, and he really hasn't done that bad. But anyway, Eagles Giants. Bach, it's you good?
Yeah.
It's disappearing into the Matrix to get shoe.
If you had to rank the Eagles in the AFC, where would they be, Gnar?
Oh, right now.
Asking the tough question.
Right now or end of regular season?
Um,
Let's do end of regular season because that'll make it look fair.
sure, yeah.
Because if we say it right now, obviously Bills are in the poopers of the league.
End of regular season.
Are you asking like where they would have finished, or my personal like if the
3?
Eagles? Yeah, I would have put them at the third best team in the AFC.
So they would have went right ahead of
Bengals.
Bengals. Okay.
At the end of the regular season, I still would have believed in the Bills more than Joe Burrow and the Bengals. It'd be Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Bengals.
Boston
Steelers.
Scott scores a touchdown.
I never
Love
know who's
scoring
going
a
to score in that backfield.
He is.
You do
When he goes against
when
the
they play
Giants.
Yep.
He scored like
It's
7 touchdowns against the Giants.
It's like 10 games in a row he's scored against them.
Oh, yeah, maybe even more. I don't know.
And then other than that, he's got like 2 touchdowns in that stretch.
Ridiculous. But not a lot to say from the Giants, who I thought were huge frauds. But they just beat a Vikings team that is
Just
maybe
as
even
fraudulent.
more fraudulent. I mean, the record probably could have been pretty close to what the Giants had at the end of the season, with a couple things not going their way. I just don't want to talk about the Giants. I just knew this was going to happen
Why don't you want
boring.
to talk about the Giants?
because
Because
they're
they
frauds,
stink.
Bach. The Lions killed them. Like,
They
I-
stink
and
and they're boring.
not a great reason to not
Do you
want to
think
talk
Danny
about him.
Dimes stinks?
He improved a lot this season. I'll say that.
Brian Dable.
Yeah.
You see all this stuff about like how Josh Allen's problems were turnovers and Dable fixed his turnovers, and then he leaves and Danny Dimes had a problem with turnovers and he had like his fewest interceptions ever, and Josh Allen had a bunch of picks this season.
No, I didn't see that.
Well, now you did. I just told you.
Heard it here first.
I've got a question. This can transfer us into the San Fran game.
Ooh.
You have Danny Dimes, Dak Prescott, and Geno Smith.
Danny Dimes.
Who do you want leading your team?
Danny Dimes.
Certainly not Dak Prescott.
Danny Dimes, and
Dak.
I think you're insane if you say one of the other two.
It might be Danny Dimes. I think I agree.
Who's
I
the
just
coach?
saw that.
Anybody. Give me Danny Dimes and any coach.
Danny Dimes.
The dude's got no quit in him.
He just
But
doesn't
Geno
look
does
like
it
a
right
quarterback. He just doesn't
No,
look
but
like. He looks like
is.
he's like
He is.
he would
though.
be like in the office.
His jaw got bigger this year, though,
And
so he
Kirk
looks more
Cousins
like a
doesn't?
quarterback.
Didn't say that.
I know, but like I guess fraud number 2 in the NFC, but
yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Quarterbacks that don't look like quarterbacks lead fraudulent teams.
Like, dude, if Danny Dimes was on the Niners, I mean, granted, you can say that with just about any quarterback right now, But oh my lord, that team would be unstoppable with Danny Dimes at quarterback. He's one of those I think he's gonna be one of those Joe Flacco type guys that in the right system, he can be a quarterback that wins playoff games against good teams.
Yeah.
If you give Danny Dimes and the 49ers demolishes this Eagles team. Not even close. It's a lot of hypotheticals, but
Really don't like Brock Purdy, dude.
I like Brock Purdy and I think they have a chance, but
I hate him.
I love that you do just for like.
I think any quarterback can succeed in that 49ers. Like, how many times has this been happening with them where someone just gets injured? And I mean, it's Jimmy G, it's Trey Lance for a little bit, it's Jimmy G again, now it's Brock Purdy. And these guys just go in and instantly succeed there. It's not just they have a 3-deep depth chart of quarterbacks. Granted, Trey Lance played 3 snaps this season?
He played a whole first game.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Against the Bears, and he lost.
Yeah.
I love Danny Dimes, and if he doesn't re-sign with the Giants, which I think they'll tag him or get a contract done, I don't know. They should. I could see him going to a team like the Colts and doing really well. And that's tough for me to say as a Jags fan.
I think Saquon's declined his offer or whatever.
He did. Saquon said, nah. There's a lot of money, too, for quads, guaranteed. Running backs should... If I've learned anything from running backs who've held out, you should just ink a good deal with good guaranteed money as soon as possible.
Sure.
Get the 28 millis in the bank. Start getting that compound interest. Bills, Bengals. Bengals beat the Bills. It took maybe a day for people to start calling the Bills dynasty over. There's Stephon Diggs trade scenarios. He doesn't want to be there. He's tweeting. Eli Apple's chirping at him. Big surprise. Is it panic mode for the Bills right now? I mean, for the last 3 years, we've been building up to this is their year, this is their year, this is their year. And now it looks like the Bengals have passed them. It looks like they've got a dynasty, and it looks like it's them and the Chiefs. Can the Bills fix this? I'm going to go to Gnar first on this because Train and I said he was going to lose to the Bengals.
Bye.
We told you he couldn't win playoff games. That counted. Because I said the wild card round does not count as playoff games.
Super wild card.
Nah, super wild. It's a wild card round. It's super wild card weekend.
The question is, can the Bills fix this?
Can they get back ahead of the Chiefs and Bengals?
Well, I don't think there's going to be a clear-cut team that's better than the other two in that grouping for the next 2, 3, 4 years. I think it's always going to be a pack of two, and the Bills will find a season in that grouping of 4 years to be in the top two. I think next year is going to be the figure-it-out year, and that's where we're going to find answers. But I think within the next 4, they'll find their way to at least get to the AFC Championship, if not a Super Bowl. I don't think you can just count Josh Allen out that easily.
People, I don't know. Phillip Rivers comparisons have been flying. And by that, I mean I saw one tweet and sent it to the group chat.
Actually, Hammy compared him to Phillip Rivers earlier, so maybe he saw that tweet and it was sent to him.
My cat's wilding right now.
Do you think they're just too much of a soft team? Like they're not meant to play in Buffalo, New York. Like they need a fucking dome.
They're so pass heavy, and then they're building a new.
They feel soft. Yeah.
Every season, it's the Bills got to get a running back, and they don't. However, they got James Cook. I think James Cook is good. They got Nyheim Hines. He's proven to be a good backup pass catcher out of the backfield.
But they don't use him that way at all.
It's not that they need a running back. It's that If you're going to
You
get
need
a
an
running
offensive
back, you need to
coordinator.
use your running back more. I mean, heck,
Yeah.
Tom Brady throws the ball 66 times per game. His running backs are still doing. I wouldn't say Leonard Fournette's better than James Cook, and that might be a bold take. But if you
No, I don't think it's
you
bold.
let an NFL GM
Not
choose between those two right now, they're taking James Cook 10 out of 10 times.
right now, yeah.
Leonard Fournette probably had better numbers this season.
No.
You don't think
Lenny
so?
was bad, dude. Lenny was bad.
He scored
He
every
was
time
so
you took him as a touchdown scorer, though.
Yeah, but he was so bad.
All right, well, maybe that's. But regardless, Bills got
That
to
was a
use their
very
running
good
backs
comparison.
more. Until they do, Josh Allen's just going to keep throwing interceptions. Well, the real Josh Allen continues to get sacks in Jacksonville. You can transfer the title now.
So I think the big reason everyone is jumping ship and they're not going to win anything is because they haven't, and because they're playing a team that didn't have an offensive line. They're known for their the Bills have a good defense, pretty decent defense. They're playing at home in Buffalo with the snow, and they weren't even in this game. I think that's why everyone's jumping ship. They haven't been able to beat the Chiefs, even though they probably should have last year. Coin toss pretty much decided it, or was that 2 years ago? I don't know.
That was last year.
I don't give a shit
No.
about coin toss deciding overtime games. Stop
They
them.
need to change the way they do something. And I know Josh Allen
In the
is
playoffs.
great.
Oh, the Bills, sorry.
Yeah, the Josh Allen is great. He can throw a football. He can run. But I think they need to change something somewhere. And if nothing is changed and they keep getting these random running backs from other teams and, obviously piss off Stephon Diggs, they're not going anywhere. And they need to change. I don't know what they have to do specifically. I don't watch the, Bills and analyze them and whatever it might be. But if they lose Stephon Diggs, I don't think they're going to. I think it's going to be a bad decline for the Bills.
What do they give Von Miller, like 150 or something over 3 years?
300.
Yeah.
And did he have any sacks?
Oh yeah, he was tearing it up. He tore his ACL like 6 weeks in.
Oh wow, he didn't play.
No, he was going crazy.
Buffalo went through it this year, which is like the fairy tale way to end it. But I did not even expect the game to be this bad. Like I took the Bungles money line, of course, and I was respectfully pretty happy. But
that was a lot of points for Bengals Bills.
Yeah, I agree.
I was shocked at the line on that.
plus 5.5.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Randy Moss, Tom Brady.
Holy shit.
Actually, no. I think they're just Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I think just because they, came from college together and, have some sort of crazy chemistry, I think they are their own thing.
T. Higgins trade rumors flying a bit. Not because he's costing money, not because he wants out. People don't know if the Bengals will be able to pay him with upcoming extensions going to Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Should you find a way to keep T. Higgins? They're going to have to pay him. How much is T. Higgins worth to you?
I bet he could get a Christian Kirk contract.
Should the Bungles give it to him, or should somebody else give it to him?
I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to afford that much. If anything, they'll find a short 2-year deal or something like that. Maybe franchise tag him just to keep this window open. Even though Joe Burrow's window is his whole career. They're going to try, but it just depends on what T. Higgins' mood is. Does he want to stay with the team, or does he want his money?
I don't know. I only saw a couple of rumors so far. I keep my ears open.
Big Shefty.
Bengals go to face the Chiefs. Joe Burrow hasn't lost to Patrick Mahomes yet. Is that a meaningful stat or a meaningless stat? Train.
That's a. I mean, he's got their number, just like how we compared the Chiefs to the Bills a couple of weeks ago, or maybe last week to Gnar. When they're in the playoffs, the Chiefs beat the Bills. When the Chiefs go against Joe Burrow, they lose to Joe Burrow. So they're thinking about it. Joe Burrow isn't thinking about shit. He's just thinking about beating them. It's not something that I think he'll think about, honestly. Um, yeah, that's where I'm at.
49ers beat the Cowboys. Ham was singing the 49ers praises the week before against Seattle. How they're this great team, this wonderful team. And then he turns around and roots for the Cowboys. Wants the Cowboys to win this week. They looked bad. Dak Prescott looked bad. It's a defensive game, no doubt. 49ers Cowboys, of course. If you bet the over in this game, that's ridiculous. Defense looked great. 49ers defense looked great. Brock Purdy managed the game. Well, Kyle Shanahan managed the game through Brock Purdy not making any mistakes as well. Dak Prescott isn't it. Train, Gnar, what do the Cowboys do with Dak Prescott? Am I wrong? Is he it?
Go ahead, Gnar.
Also an option.
I mean, I don't know what they've seen in the last 3-4 years to actually believe that this guy's the future. They went from Tony Romo. They rode him for way too fucking long. The guy was incapable of winning past the month of December 15th. And I think they went straight into another quarterback that might have the same issue. So at some point, they got to wonder if it's not the quarterback. Could it be somebody up higher? First name Jerry. Just can't win the big one. Can't get the team up for a playoff game.
Train, what do you do with him? I mean, you got to ride it out now, right? With the guaranteed money, or do you cut it and eat it?
I think they're
Is there
gonna.
still faith to be had?
I think they're gonna keep him. I don't know if I would. I think he's just gonna stay there, and year after year, this is going to happen, and it's only gonna, this Cowboys team is only going to decline. I think. I think they have a lot of potential, on this team as a whole. But with Dak leading and their belief in Dak is just, it's like the same thing with Zeke. We all knew Pollard was better, but it's Zeke. It's
Zeke
Dak.
hasn't been as bad as Dak's been.
Something I heard is that Cooper Rush would have won this.
I was just about to ask you, does Cooper Rush win that game?
I don't know if I could say that, but
That's what
go ahead,
Brock
no.
Purdy could.
not Shannon Sharp. Who's on that show with him? Skip. That's what Skip said
Yes,
on
yes.
Undisputed.
That's who I heard it from. And is it a wild take? Yes.
I don't think
mean-
it's too wild.
Well, because Dak threw two interceptions against one of the best defense in the league.
Trevor
I just
Lawrence
think Cooper
threw
Rush
4 and still won the game.
All right, Bob. All right, Bob.
Just saying.
Go ahead.
No, it's just if you can throw 4 and win, you should be able to throw 2 and win if you're a good quarterback.
Yeah, especially when the defense was doing what they were doing.
Would you put Dak Prescott in the top 20 quarterbacks right now?
Yes.
Top 15.
20's great. 15's borderline. That's where we start to. That's where I actually need to crunch numbers. But 20 for sure.
That's where it's too much to put you right on the spot.
Yeah, if you gave me 5 minutes, I could get back to you. But top 20 easily.
Train easily top 20, borderline top 15.
I don't hate that take. What I've been preaching all season: great QBs win football games, no matter when it is.
Is there any team in the NFL that would be excited if the Cowboys were like, hypothetically, here, have Dak Prescott?
Raiders.
Probably the Steelers.
Yeah.
Gnar response.
I could see the Colts falling in that trap.
So a trap. You think it's a trap, but you still want to put him in top 15 quarterbacks? Hypothetically, you'd
what
think
the
there's
line we're
15
looking
teams
at
that
when
would take him.
Colts almost made it with Carson Wentz. I think if they got Dak Prescott, they could definitely make it to the playoffs.
Carson
they'll probably
Wentz
just
stinks.
yes, he does.
Exactly.
And I think they could get to the playoffs, but do pretty much the same thing. Maybe lose wild card because the Jags won the division. So
And we beat the Cowboys.
yeah, but you did. Yeah, he had to throw that in. Had to throw that.
It's a tight game. Maybe Dak's just not a playoff guy. Maybe he's going to continue to have solid seasons and make playoff. I don't want to say this, but maybe he's Stafford for the Lions, for the Cowboys.
That's not crazy to say.
I don't think Dak Prescott has near the talent Matt Stafford had. Just situations of he's a good enough quarterback that it's obvious we need to keep him. Like, I don't know. I don't know who you're going to draft who you'd replace Dak Prescott with without waiting. But, like, at the same time, he's not winning playoff games. And he doesn't have Calvin Johnson. But I'm sorry. I shouldn't be taking shots at Stafford. That was there was a lot of issues outside of
that
Stafford and Johnson. It's just kind of like you had a good quarterback for a while, but your team didn't really seem to make much progress. I think that's what the Cowboys are doomed with right now with Dak Prescott. I apologize. That wasn't meant to be at the Lions at any expense. So to listeners out there as well, it didn't mean to go that direction. It's just where my mind went. I struggle to talk NBA basketball, which is our next topic, because the Pistons stink. Cade Cunningham is out for the season. Jaden Ivey is struggling his rookie year. And we're the second worst team in the league right now. Tank for Wembanyama. That's cool and all. But the lottery scares the piss right out of me. I mean, what, you tank all season, you're the worst team in the league, got a 14% chance at number one. I don't know. And then if you fall two, you get scoot. There's a lot of scenarios, but it's early in the season. We're already talking tankathon spins if you follow Rob Beard. Pistons season is over. That's fine. If you're waiting for anything, wait for the deadline to roll around and hope we get a decent return for Bojan. I think there's a
Is he gone?
He's got to be. He's playing too well right now. I mean, a lot of people want him as this building block for the future, but he's like 34 and he's having a great season right now, and we just got him on a pretty solid extension. For once in my sports fan life, I'd like to see a Detroit GM trade a guy when he's having a breakout season instead of getting greedy, keeping him, and then when he stinks next year, trade him for less, and then he balls out with the new team he's on. Happened with Michael Fulmer. Happened with countless other. If you give me a minute to write down names and think I can give it to you. But if he's not gone,
Jeremy Grant.
Well, we got a decent return for him. I don't know. That was a tough one. I think when we traded Plumlee, we got shafted in that trade too, but that was just a bad trade. It'd be refreshing to see them capitalize on his success and a decent extension they got him to. Got to get at least a first back, and I'd be fine with it. He's not part of the future, and that's fine. If you don't see it, I think it's going to be a painful next year or two. Outside of that, I mean, you got the regulars running the league in the East, and the West is actually getting shaken up a bit now. Nuggets, Grizzlies, Kings at the top. Love the Nuggets, and I want to get your guys' take on this the other day because I heard about this and it kind of blew my mind. Jokic is a pretty incredibly talented basketball player right now, yeah?
Incredibly talented.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
freak
that's
freak
fair to say.
athlete, freak of nature. When
Yep.
he's done, he's probably just gonna like vanish into thin air,
Yeah, he's going back to Russia. Or
and you'll never hear
I,
about him again, unless you're talking about like, he's not gonna go do a podcast. He's not gonna be a broadcaster. He's not gonna. He's just gonna go back over to Russia, and you'll never hear from him again.
hang out on this farm with his $50-100 million and relax.
That's what I'd do. I wouldn't keep. I mean,
Oh,
I guess some people get bored. That's not. But yeah, just go relax. Take your money, sit on the farm, and drink your vodka. I don't know. That kind of blew my mind, so I figured I'd bring it up.
Now, Nara and I are going to a Pistons game.
When?
Super Bowl. It's the Friday before the Super Bowl.
Who they playing?
I don't know.
Spurs.
Nice.
Good seats?
So I first
Decent.
level.
Can you guys make it? Never mind. I was gonna say make a sign that says trade Bojan, but that's mean.
We'll be on the court, so maybe we can get some videos.
You'll be on the court.
Yeah, after the game.
Oh,
Yeah,
Shooting.
some talks.
yeah, we get to shoot and everything.
You'll get some talks. I updated the TikTok and the thing here, so we have the correct one on the video now.
Nice.
At Juck Sports Pod. NHL also a little bit frustrating right now. Wings are struggling as of late. Injuries. But trade rumors. We're in on Bo Horvat. Some call him Bo Scorvat. He's a bucket. He gets goals. It's 50-50 on Red Wings Nation. So I'm kind of putting this in here, so hopefully Ham hears it. And then we can get some feedback from him in the chat. Reen doesn't want him. They think we'd have to give up. He thinks we have to give up too much to get him. But we're trying to get another piece. We think this is a team that can win. The looming Dylan Larkin extension is next on the slate. I think we shouldn't pay him because I think what he's asking for is too much and he won't go any lower. That's my stance on that. College basketball, here we go. Big Ten basketball stinks. Gnar, give me the rundown on state.
Just in the middle of putrid injuries. Malik Hall's probably the most important player on that team. Everybody talks about the guard play between Hogard and Walker, which has been absolutely incredible all year. But I mean, we just get skull fucked by every power forward we go against. It doesn't matter if the guy's actually good. It's typically a career high, regardless. So getting Malik Hall back, which the way college sports works, they just never want to tell you for real when it's going to happen. They just kind of pop back out on the court. So at this point, got to focus on at least getting in, finding that 6-7 seed spot, so you're still out of that 1 seed's path, and then hoping that team gets hot. I mean, if you get Malik Hall back, these two guards could take state to a Final Four.
Train.
Not a national championship.
Oh,
This team can get to a Final Four.
really?
Healthy Malik Hall, Final Four. Tyson Walker and AJ Hogard are deadly together.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because State played some really good close games against some really good teams early on in the season. And
Purdue.
yeah, but I'm not sold on Purdue making a deep playoff run either. Number one, because they normally don't. Number two, I always for so long in my sports career, I've given the Big Ten Conference the benefit of the doubt when their division standings look like this. And sometimes we turn it around during tournament time. Like all these teams are just all equally so talented that it's tough to have teams that stand out outside of Purdue. No, I just think this is an ugly season of Big Ten basketball. I don't think Purdue's that good. I think Michigan has coaching problems. I think Jawan needs to be at. I think the talent's there. State, I don't follow State basketball, so I trust you that it's injury problems and they might be a solid team because when I paid attention enough, they had close games early against good teams. Michigan doesn't even have a quad 1 win. I don't exactly know what that means, but I know a little bit about net ratings just to know that you want quad 1 wins. But they're
It's like top 30,
top 50, I thought.
it's the top echelon of the college basketball.
Because they had one, but then that team then lost and got bumped out of the top 50, so they dropped back down to 0.
I think there's only 3 quads in the entire D1 basketball slate. So
0-6 in quad 1 games,
teams.
but they're third place in the Big Ten. So that's where you lose me on the Big Ten being good. Because I don't think Michigan's good. I think they got good players. I don't think they're playing good. But I think the division's weak this year. Train, agree or disagree?
I agree. With both of you.
Interesting.
Party's going deep.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. You heard it here first. I don't know.
I don't think I've watched a single college basketball game because I feel like at this moment I never do. And once football's over, I'll get into basketball. But right now I am football. I can't turn my brain off of football. So after that, I'll be able to talk basketball. But until then,
if Michigan
yes.
goes to the NIT, would you be invested?
Not in Michigan.
Fair enough. Conference championship week, because Train is done with basketball right now. So let's talk football. Like I said, I lost the teaser. 16-1. Tough. It hurt. Quick apology to Adam Reagan. I told him I was still undefeated at the Rocket on Friday because I genuinely thought I had the Jags. But Gnar jumped on him. I went to the Giants after trying to snake the Bengals from Train. Let Train take the Bengals, and I went on the Giants. 16-1. Whatever, it's over. We're done. So Train and I were talking today, and Gnar is in the chat. What do we do for bets now? There's only 2 games. You know, we talked about just going around and each picking a bet we like for the games. Instead, to create a little bit of longevity throughout after the football season, we've created the wager wheel. It's got a bunch of different topics or bets or types of bets to place. Home spread, away spread, over, under, quarterback passing tubs, passing yards, rushing yards. And we each spin it, and we have to pick a bet for the category it lands on. None of them are game specific, besides home and aways. And then when football's over, we simply shake up what's on the board a little bit. It can be cross sports, so we got to jump. You know, we can label something NCAA. We can label it NBA, whatever. We'll figure that out. But for now, we got the wager wheel. We've got individual records, not tied directly to what type of prop bet it lands on. We've also got the fire and the frosty. If we're winning on a particular bet more often, that's a fire bet. If we got one that we keep spinning and whenever we pick a bet for that category, it's not hitting, that's frosty. At Juck Sports Pod on Twitter. At Juck Sports Pod on TikTok. Boys, are we ready to spin the wheel? And if so, do we want to spin, place the bet, spin, place the bet, spin, place the bet, or do a 3 spin for all of us and then go through?
Spin, bet, I think.
All right. Who wants to go first?
Gnar does.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a little easier to watch on YouTube, but hopefully Bach explained it pretty well.
If you're confused, give a quick look at the first video on YouTube near the end, right around the 50-minute mark, a little bit underneath. Then you got it in your mental memory if you're a Spotify listener. But here we go. First spin of the wager wheel. Gnar, this is you.
What is it?
home money line.
Oh wow.
Eagles.
Oh wow. That was
Eagles
so-
money line to Gnar.
That's so easy. Oh my god! I
All right.
wanted a nuke.
He also
I wanted
had the chance to pick the Chiefs in this situation.
Yeah, it landed
so-
on home money line. So of the home teams playing, Gnar took the Eagles money line over the Chiefs. I don't doubt that pick one bit.
Yeah.
Train, is it
I
you
want-
or is it me?
Go ahead, Nar. Explain your pick a little bit.
If I got a nuclear play, it was going on the Eagles.
Really?
I'm. It me personally, it's going to be a nuclear missile whale launch play this
On
Sunday.
The money line.
Eagles -2.5.
Is that a money
Is
in the
that-
bank play?
No, just
Okay.
a nuclear missile whale play.
All right, nuclear missile whale play.
It's slightly under that money in the bank level. Looking at 2.5 units on that.
Eagles
I'll
money
go
line.
next.
Train, you're going next.
Yeah. My cat.
So before we spin the wheel, just in case it happens, if it lands on home money line again, do you have to take the Chiefs?
I do.
Okay. Just
I
wanted to
Oh
think-
shit!
I just wanted to
or do we
clarify that.
agree on? Or do we agree on doing something else?
I'm okay with a respin.
All right,
Okay.
no duplicates, no dupes.
Yeah.
I'm a
Here we
big
go,
Bungles
Train.
guy.
It's spinning. It's spinning.
Big Bungles guy.
Home spread, please.
So, I cannot see this wheel, so Bach is just telling us.
Could be a lie.
It'd be a lie.
This is a perfect one for Train. By the way, it's a 15-second spin, so if you count that off.
Oh, okay.
First touchdown scorer, Train. Any
Oh.
team, any game. First TD
Oh,
scorer.
man.
It was a Train one, though. It was a Train one.
It does fit train.
Big
I love
first TD
that.
scorer guy.
I love that.
Give
It's
it
gonna take
to
a lot
us.
of thinking. You got Dawson Knox isn't playing.
Are you, if try, you want to narrow down to a game first, or you got one?
No, he's got to choose between both games.
Yeah. I have to choose between both, and I want to go someone from the Bungles. Give me Joe Mixon, first touchdown scorer. I
that
think
game.
Samaje could steal it, but
Oh, that'd be heartbreaking.
I think it's gonna be Joe Mixon. Lock it in.
Love it. Love it. We got Eagles money line. We got Joe Mixon. First TD scorer. Home money line right off the bat with the chance to start fire, because I'm gonna put them on there as soon as they hit or lose. Top 3 on each category. Like I said, it's a 15-second spin. We'll go off for mine. I'll let you guys know what it lands on. And hopefully eventually I can figure out how to let you see the wheel without exploding my connection speeds. Here we go.
I don't know how much longer.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Any touchdown score by a nipple hair, dude. Almost landed on first TD score for a respin.
Oh,
but
you would have to go to the other game.
no, we said no dupes. I was thinking about it, but then I was like, man,
He goes, P. Ryan.
well, I got anytime TD score.
But Will Bart's thinking I might sprinkle P. Ryan, just a sprinkle.
For first or any.
Just put like a unit and then a half unit on P. Ryan. Yeah,
I gotta think
That-
here. So we got Eagles, Niners, tough Niners,
Eagles,
defense,
Niners.
and then we got
Bengals.
Chiefs, Bungles, which will probably be a high scoring game. Man, I mean, Bengals got a solid defense. I'm gonna chalk it up, and I think I have to take Travis Kelce.
Oh.
I don't know if I can name a Bungles linebacker, so I don't know who's gonna cover him. Right?
Definitely not Eli Apple.
I don't hate a Chiefs or Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. You don't have to justify that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm like
I'll
scared
go.
it's too chalk. That's why I hate making chalk plays. But I don't know. I think that's got to be the pick.
Yeah.
So we got
I like it.
Kelsey anytime TD, Mixon first TD, and the Eagles money. That's for the first wheel spin. We got 3 pretty good opportunities here. If you're not watching on YouTube, we do have home, away, quarterback passing touchdowns, yards, rush yards, receiving yards, receptions, some player props that might have been a little bit more tough to make picks on right off the bat. But we have a chance to start 3-0. And I'm debating if I've got our individual records on the screen. Do we also want to track a wager wheel total record or no?
I think that's all we have to track, dude. Nars got a home money line, and I got a first
Oh
touchdown.
no!
square.
Everything. No.
Oh my
No.
God.
You live and die by the wheel.
All right, fair
If
enough.
you
fair enough.
get shitty spins,
I
so
think
be
I
it. Make
deserve,
better
like-
picks. Make a chalk pick. I mean, I know first touchdown's tough, and you might. I don't know. Maybe
It's
I'll put.
fairly chalk.
Maybe I'll take really little small numbers up and put them in the corner for our total record, and see if maybe we can hide it in there for you. But I've got our individual records there, and they're staying for sure. The wheel decides.
Fair enough.
That's all we have for today. Thanks everyone for listening. Oh, Train, you got something?
I went 4 for 4 in spreads this week. I tweeted them out. I had to say something.
You did tweet them out because I replied to that tweet.
Jags backdoor saved me, and the Niners kept it. So let's go Bungles. I don't care what the line's at. Money in the bank, Bungles, money line.
Bungles money line, money in the bank.
Yes.
Have you won a money in the? Have you
I'm
won a money?
I'm 0-2.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you just curse him?
0-2.
If you
I hope
lose
I
this
think you
money
just-
in the bank, there might be a Train money in the bank curse.
there
you need to
could be.
apologize to Joe Burrow if
Yeah.
he loses this weekend.
I'm so.
No, it's
I think
number
I
one.
don't-
It's too late. You already said it. The only
No,
way
I wasn't gonna take it back.
I know, but like
was
if
never
Joe
gonna-
Burrow tore his ACL, like between then and now, you can take it back. But that's locked in. But I hope you understand that if the Bengals lose this week, it's gonna be like curse alert for Train.
No, it's all on me. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean,
But I'm gonna start, kind of dishing them out a little more frequently. I think if that were the case, just to try to cap that off.
I think
Just
Gnar's like 2-1-1 or 3-1-1, and
3-1-1.
I'm 2-0.
Yeah. All right. I don't need to hear it. It's done now.
Gnar,
What's up,
what do you
Gnar?
got for us?
Fuck the nuclear missile. Let's go get more money. Put it in the bank. Eagles minus 2.5.
Eagles spread.
Money in the bank. Let's go
Bengals money
4-1-1.
line. Double money in the
4-1-1.
banks. Haven't had a double money in the bank in a while.
I just don't know in what world Brock Purdy scores more points than Jalen Hurts. You can talk all you want about Shanahan's offense, but the Eagles got a very similar offense with a much more mobile quarterback. And they're
I'm with you. And 2.5 is
equal wide
great because you
receivers.
get the
I'm better
field
wide
goal
receivers.
win. You get the field goal
Yes, 2.5.
win. Eagles
If it
spread
moves
money
up
in
to
the bank.
3.5. Nope, 2.5.
Bengals money line, money in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles money line, Mixon first TD, Kelsey anytime TD. Put it on the card, lock it in, settle down for some nice conference championship football, and then we'll be back next week with the new wager wheel, with our new records, and we'll be ready to talk Super Bowl. Thanks for listening. If you're on YouTube, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. If you're with us on Spotify, be sure to follow, drop that rating. And then, as always, until next time, boys, fist it.